album that we had to review, thanks to Jim,
Thanks, Jim.
was Van Halen's OU812. Their 8th studio album, which was released on May 20th of 1988. It peaks at number 1 on the Billboard charts and is certified 4 times platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Van Halen on lead guitar, keyboards, and backing vocals. Michael Anthony on bass guitar and backing vocals. Alex Van Halen on drums and percussion. And the one and only Sammy Hagar on lead vocals and rhythm guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Starts off with a song called Mine All Mine. What do you got, Bill?
Well, sounded generic. Would have been better with David Lee Roth. Too many drums.
Go ahead.
Wow.
I'll save it.
That's sharing a goddamn brain, isn't it?
I'll save it.
That's why I loved it. I loved Alex going to town on those fucking drums was incredible. That rhythm section through that song, absolutely fucking impeccable. And they had just enough guitar in there and synth. It was beautiful opening to this album.
Okay.
That's why I said because the synth, it's like they haven't let go of 1984.
Now, here's what I have. Not a bad opener, but it is not spectacular. Very generic. I give the song a meh.
A meh.
Meh. Moving on to one of the singles on the record. When It's Love. What do you got, Bill?
Yay, prom song. Oh, God. I don't like this song.
Okay.
Classic Van Halen power ballad that would have never been able to do with Dave.
You can't call it a classic Van Halen when it was on the album. It's classic
Now, yes.
But it wasn't classic then.
I'm just saying.
No.
They would not been able to do this song with Dave. Absolutely not.
He's not wrong.
Oh, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
But yeah.
Full disclosure, I love this song. I gave it a yes. It's a beautiful song. Mike Anthony is so underrated as a vocalist. Those high harmonies that you hear all throughout Van Halen's career, that was Mike.
Speaking of Michael Anthony, I read, now like once again, this is Wikipedia shit. On the OU812 page, they had at towards the end how years later Eddie Van Halen thought the mix wasn't well. And then people are accusing him and his brother of lowering the bass tones, evidently because they were feuding with Michael Anthony.
No.
Okay.
No, hang on. I'll tell you why I say no to that.
Okay.
Every Van Halen album, the bass is buried.
Okay.
Every fucking record.
Okay. Now, I didn't know that there was I knew they were feuding with David Lee Roth, but I didn't know in the middle of the 1984 tour, David, Alex, and Eddie made Michael Anthony sign away his royalties starting with 1984 forward.
I didn't know that either. That's a fucking dick move.
And that's what I'm thinking. When I read that, now, like I said, that was on Michael Anthony's page.
Yeah.
And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But I thought of Jesus Christ, these guys are like fucking Kiss.
No. They're not like Kiss.
No, I know, but because
Kiss,
that's a dick move.
Kiss didn't make, as far as I know, Kiss didn't make Peter and Ace sign away the royalties.
Yeah.
You know who did? Your pal Axl Rose.
Yeah.
He made everybody.
I do remember that.
He made everybody sign away their right. Oh, maybe not their royalties, but rights to the name Guns N' Roses.
It was.
He had full control of the name, and he refused to go on stage.
But I'm sure they get fairly compensated
No,
at the time.
When they kicked the drummer out, who the fuck was the first drummer? Oh my God,
Steve Adler.
They made him sign everything away. Bye.
Yeah. Well, they tried to do that with Motley Crue. Tried to do that with Nick too.
Yes.
But again, I'm sure that they give him some sort of compensation to make it, or otherwise people just wouldn't do it.
Well, when I read that, I think it was Anthony's agent says, I don't even know, because this was in the middle of a tour.
Yeah.
He said, I would have said, fuck you, and I never would have went out on stage and played.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't
Well,
imagine.
you see, Axl did that before a show.
Well, multiple times.
No.
You're talking...
before a show. He like I'm not going on stage unless you guys give me all the rights to the name.
See, that's a dick move.
Well, it's fucking.
That's a
Well,
dick
let's be honest. I mean, these guys that are in these bands are humongous egomaniacs.
Correct.
Whether we love them, that is why they do this. They need that audience, and they want it all to themselves, no matter what. And they will do whatever it takes to get that. And many more bands have done that. Over the years.
Yeah. And yes, especially when you're dealing with a fucking unbridled egomaniac like David Lee Roth.
Correct.
And you're dealing with another unbridled egomaniac, and I'm sorry, I'm going to hurt feelings with this, but like Eddie Van Halen.
Correct.
Unbridled fucking egomaniac.
Yeah, now there was a rumor that this album, the title of it, was just like a rebuttal to Eat 'Em and Smile.
Yes.
I
Now, of course, they said, no, it was Cheech and Chong's license plate in like Up in Smoke or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
But it's like, I kind of believe a little bit. It's like, it's a little bit weirdly coincidental that they both have that theme.
Doug says, be careful, guys. Pie 10 is watching. Hi, Pie 10.
It's okay. She doesn't like new Motley. She barely likes old Motley. We were here for this.
And she knows school stuff. Anyway, moving on. Next song is called AFU, All Fired Up, Naturally Wired.
Yes.
I can relate to this song. There's nothing like being on stage.
No, well, lyrically, but it sounded like jazz rock.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it sounded like everybody was just playing shit.
Go ahead.
I loved it.
Like, the guitar front and center of this song throughout the whole song. I absolutely loved it. And Hagar's vocals, he's starting to show his chops a little bit
Wait,
more.
the Viking?
Sammy Hagar.
Yeah, not that.
Oh, I said Hagar.
Hagar.
Well, hang on.
Horrible.
Hang on. Brian says, let's not forget, I'm sure a lot of drugs and booze were involved. Yes.
Yeah, very much.
Yes. A lot of booze, especially. Let's not forget, Sammy owned a fucking tequila company.
Yep.
It's wonderful tequila, too. Like the famous quote from Chappelle's show, cocaine is a hell of a drug. And I think Dave was more on the schmutz than...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, also, they were known to have M&Ms behind, so they were probably getting all sugar high.
yeah.
And
like everybody thinks... the famous story is about Van Halen's rider that the M&Ms, they had to have a bowl of M&Ms with all of the brown M&Ms removed.
Okay.
There's a actual legit reason for that.
Yep.
Why?
If they didn't read or abide that part of the rider, what else didn't they read or abide?
Yeah. It was basically a test.
It's a quality check.
Yep. And genius, too. Genius.
100% genius.
Wow.
100% genius.
Which, again, was probably going to smoke through I got an idea, fellas. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
We'll show
Because
them.
back then, there were no red or blue M&Ms either.
But then you got somebody touching all your M&Ms.
No, just the brown ones.
Yeah. You gotta sort them
I'm
out.
sure they didn't. I'm sure they really didn't eat the M&Ms either.
And not only that, there's no way somebody used gloves back then.
Yeah, and with all the groupies that they were banging at the time, come on, you think some fucking stagehand touching your M&Ms is the least of their problems, man?
Yeah.
Next, the final song on side one. Cabo Wabo. What do you got?
Yeah, this was a Sammy song. This was good. I enjoyed this song. It sounded like something off of Sammy's solo stuff.
All right, what do you got, Jim?
I said there's an unforgettable riff in here. Beautiful song. Dave could not touch this song singing-wise, and that ending solo by Eddie is absolutely incredible. The only thing I don't like about the song, very long. I think this one was like 7 minutes.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that. I honestly didn't mind it being that long.
Okay. I give it a no. I didn't like it.
Okay.
I love Sammy and I love Cabo Tequila, but this just was no bueno. I did not enjoy this. It would have fit much better on a Wabo Rita's record. You're right. On a Sammy solo record.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it. It was a little much for me.
Did you guys, off tangent a little bit, and I still remember the CD. on the back of the CD, the songs are not written in the order that they're on the album. They're in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That always fucked me up.
Doug said they used tongs for the M&Ms.
Possibly.
There's really small tongues. I mean, M&M's are really tiny.
Chopsticks.
Ooh, the bing.
Anyway, moving on.
Been easy to just put them through a sieve.
Side 2 starts with an album. An album? Starts with a song called Source of Infection. What do you got, Bill?
I think this is all right, but it may be I was still riding the high from Cabo. And it's a hell of a good solo in this one, too, though. And again, I might have been... I don't know. I didn't re-listen to this before, after Cabo. Like, it is, but maybe. It seemed like it wasn't that bad because Cabo put me in a good mood.
What do you got, Jim?
I got, this is Sammy showing off his pipes and Eddie showing off his skills.
Okay, fair enough. What I've got is no. This is Hot for Teacher Part 2,
Oh, you know what? Now that
but much worse.
I'm getting the rhythm, yeah, a little bit. I can see that now. Now
No.
that you say that,
No, absolutely not. I did not like this. Speaking of shit I didn't like, next comes a song called Feel So Good.
yeah,
Yeah, what's with the keyboard?
that's
It's
heavy
like it
synth.
just didn't need to be there.
The droning synth does nothing for
Yeah,
me.
Oh.
this is again like it was like 1984. You gotta get past that album. David left.
But Eddie likes his synth.
Yeah, it was good on one album.
No. This is the same synth pattern that they started with for Love Walks
Yeah,
In.
Yeah.
But Love Walks In is a much better song. This was just no bueno. Next is another single off the album. Finish What You Started.
Overplayed, meh.
Oh, this is an acoustical gem. I mean, fucking.
An acoustical?
Well, they do have some of it in there. I think in the beginning. No,
That was
No,
Tesla.
maybe not.
And it's 5-man.
5-man.
Yeah, not a
band.
4-man. Anyway, it's. Go ahead.
I love this. Another earworm song for me.
It's
It's a fucking earworm.
It's a good. I actually gave this one a yes. I gave this a yes. I like the feel of it. It's a little off kilter.
Yeah.
It's a little bit off kilter. I liked it. Next track we have is Black and Blue. What do you got?
Yeah, this one I like this one too. Nice guitar tone, really good harmonies,
Yes.
Typical Van Halen.
and yeah, it was a really nice song.
Yes.
It's very typical Van Halen. What do you got, Jim?
Powerful chords, the drums, sexual innuendo at its finest.
Yeah, this is a meh for me.
Did you say sexual?
Sexual.
Sexual chocolate.
Sexual.
Sexual.
That fucking thing. Next is a song called Sucker in a Three-Piece. We go to Bill.
Sounded rock, but the lyrics just weren't that good.
Towards the end. Yeah. I like this. To me, this is like one of those songs that I like to call a downhill song. It starts off and it just grows and grows and grows as the song goes on. I enjoyed this.
I took a different version of Downhill.
Long legs right up to her lunch pail. Sorry.
Yeah, this is another meh
Meh?
for me. This would have fit well on 5150.
I can see that.
It would have fit well on 5150. It reminds me of Good Enough,
Yes.
which I like a lot better than I like this. And thankfully, we're to the end of this. The last song,
Oh, wasn't that bad?
fuck you. The last song is called A Political Blues. This was CD and now streaming only.
Correct.
This was not on the cassette or the vinyl back in the day.
Correct.
Jimmy says, I agree with Padre Bill. Blow My Fuse is a great album. Sorry to change the subject.
What the fuck?
That's right. That's right. Testify. Testify.
No, Mr. Westerberg, I got to respectfully disagree. Anyway, A Political Blues. What do you got?
It was standard blues. I mean, it's a cover, and it wasn't good, wasn't bad. It was just a band playing a good blues song.
Go ahead.
Now I know why it was left off the tape and the vinyl. I didn't enjoy this song.
I didn't like it either.
It just seems like I don't know.
It's just kind of there.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I'll save my final thoughts. Go ahead. What are your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Well, okay. This disappointed me a little bit because this isn't the album that has the songs that I love, like Pound Cake, Ron and Ron,
You gotta fucking go there.
and Right Now.
Fun.
That's a different album, and I was disappointed that none of them were on this. I think this is a band trying to get their sea legs after they lost their talented singer. And
This is
That was the album before.
Yeah,
what the hell was before this?
5150.
Yeah.
No, 50/50 was after this.
No.
What do you mean?
5150 was before
That
this.
was their first album with Sammy.
Well, they I don't know. This one sucked balls.
Jesus Christ.
What do you give it?
Honestly, only because it's Van Halen and Cobble Wobble, a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Mr. Miller.
I mentioned to you on the phone what
Christ.
something really, really weird happened when I started playing this album again for the first time. It's been a few years since I listened to it, and I can remember when this album came out, when I would read, I would listen to music. And as soon as I heard Mine All Mine, I remember reading this fucking book, Operation Chaos. And I would listen to this album all the time while reading that book. So that I just can't believe that thought popped in my head as soon as this came on. I loved the majority of the songs on here. I know I'm in the minority here, but I just think Sammy's pipes on this album are absolutely incredible. I'm giving this album an 8.5.
Okay. Brian says, "Damn, Bill, I have to say you're much more assertive without your denim on. Tell us how you really feel."
Well, I got the album wrong. It's actually For Unlawful Cardinal Knowledge that has I can't say the name.
Yes, you're correct.
That has all my favorite songs.
What is it?
And Jimmy Westerberg says he's a big Van Halen fan. Yes, you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. And OU812 is their worst CD. Everything else is gold.
Poop nuts.
I won't go that far. My final thoughts. Ed's playing is spectacular as always. I'm a Randy Rhoads guy, but we've had this discussion before. I will never diminish the contributions or the talent of Eddie Van Halen.
Correct.
The man's a fucking absolute, he was a game changer of a guitar player. Mike Anthony is a rock solid bass player, and his harmony vocals, that high soaring harmony, is such a huge part of the Van Halen sound that it can't be diminished.
Correct.
Sammy Hagar is a much better singer, a much better songwriter, and by all accounts, a much better fucking human being than David Lee Roth. I love Sammy. I love his stuff with Montrose. I love his solo stuff. I love a good portion of his stuff with Van Halen. I love the stuff with Chickenfoot and The Circle. I'm a big Sammy guy. Alex Van Halen, overrated. Overrated fucking drummer. He's lionized for that intro for Hot for Teacher.
Okay.
He's not. He's a great drummer. I'm not gonna fucking deny that. He's a great drummer. He's not fucking Neil Peart.
Oh,
he's not fucking Mike Portnoy. He's not that fucking great. He's lionized for a glorified warm-up exercise.
Okay.
That's what the intro to Hot for Teacher is. That being said, this is my least favorite Sammy era album. I give it a 5.
Just like him. You bastards.
No, you bastards, us. You hurt my feelings with They Might Be Giants. But I'm not doing this for your feelings. I did this because I got to speak my truth.
Jimmy Westerberg says, agreed. David Lee Roth was a great showman, the best ever. I won't say he was the best ever. I've seen some fantastic fucking showmen. Can't sing live. He couldn't sing on fucking record either. That's
God.
been proven. If you find the YouTube videos where it's just his isolated vocals, he fucking blew dogs. Anyway, Sammy is a great singer.
Absolutely.
Fucking amazing singer.